What's up, bros and hoes, whatever floats your goat? It's your boy Relentless, and today I'm bringing you yet another build video. And this one is more of a hybrid build utilizing two specific things. If you don't know, and you should already know, that the stagger on these shotguns are just like way out there. I mean, you get hit with a shotgun, next thing you know, you're staring up stargazing. So, anyways, it's built around this, utilizing whatever shotgun you prefer, also with whatever LMG you prefer. Without any further ado, let's get into this monster damage beast build. And I got some gameplay coming up at the end of it, so stay tuned for that. But let's get right into it. First, we'll start with the weapons. As you can see, I have a black market sausage, as I call it, 125k base damage with brutal, responsive, and competent. In my secondary, I have a Hungry Hog. Look at that whopping damage of 25.4k with Swift, Deadly, and the Talent Glutton. And the Glutton is killing a target increases your damage dealt with 10% until you stop firing. Multiple kills stack this bonus up to 5 times. If you do not prefer either the Hungry Hog or the Sausage, then I have this military M870, and you can see its base damage is at 191k, and it has brutal, destructive, and unforgiving. And let's say you prefer another LMG, then look no further. The Pecan base damage is 23.4 with 12% damage to targets out of cover with deadly, destructive, and of course the Pecan talent. Each kill makes the next reload have 20% extra bullets compared to its base, which really comes in handy that I found out. But mostly I have been running with more or less nothing but the sausage and the Pecan. I just have recently picked up this Hungry Hog and can't wait to actually use it. But going into the mods on how I have it modded, in my magazine, I have magazine size, crit hit damage, and 5.2% rate of fire. In my optics, I have crit hit chance, optimal range, and headshot damage. And also in my small underbarrel, I have 44% optimal range, 2.5% stability, with 4% crit hit damage. And the reason for the 44% optimal range, as you can see, the range is almost equivalent to using an SMG. So with the damage drop off, basically you can hit targets the same distance as an SMG would. So I definitely recommend you putting optimal range underbarrel on your sausage. On the Pecan, I have magazine size, crit hit chance, crit hit damage, which is the trifecta, large optics with crit hit chance, headshot damage, and accuracy. And in the large muzzle, I have 18.5% headshot damage, crit hit chance, and reduced threat. All very nice and what you want on your large muzzle or Omega suppressor, whichever you prefer. The optics are interchangeable. You can go for even more crit chance and crit damage. But this is the one that I had available for this weapon, and it worked out really nice. Moving on to the gear, Banshee Shadow armor. I have a decent base armor roll, and I'm going with health and all resistance. And as we all know, around 15,000 in health in the major attributes is equivalent to 1,000 main stat in stamina. And in my minor attributes, I have ammo capacity. But in this situation, utilizing 3 Banshee and 3 Lone Star, you don't necessarily need the ammo capacity on your chest piece and your backpack. Now, the talents for running 3-piece is 20% looted DZ funds, plus 10% damage to targets out of cover. So the 10% targets out of cover, accompanied with the already 12 to 13% out of cover that's baked into an LMG, you get 20% more base damage. And then my mod slots, I have 251 firearms with 1% crit hit chance, and another 258 firearms with 1% crit hit chance. Moving on to the mask, Lone Star mask, decent base armor, good stamina roll. It's the only stamina roll that I have on this whole entire piece. I have a total of 4 firearms and 1 stamina. In the major attribute spot, I opted in for the skill power just due to the simple fact of running low skill power, and that 9,000 gives a little bit more of an edge on my heal when I am face tanking or running NPCs or battling out, as you'll see in the clips afterwards. In the minor attribute slot, I have 14% increased kill XP. I prefer something totally different, something that'll be more beneficial. But if you're trying to rank up and get those caches or caches, then the increased kill XP does come in handy. And then my mod slot, I have 261 firearms and 3179 health. The 3 pieces for the Lone Star that are utilized in this build, like I said, the 2-piece gives you plus 100% ammo capacity, and the 3-piece bonus gives you an 8% LMG base damage increase and also a 8% shotgun damage increase. So that way, LMG and shotgun using in this build goes hand in hand. Moving on to the knee pads, I have a good firearms roll. In my major attribute spot, I went in for the health at 16,585, so that way I'm a little more tanky and I have a little more survivability, but you can opt in for crit hit damage in this slot as well. And in my minor attributes, I have shock resistance, which is very important because it seems like everybody is spamming shock turrets, so the shock resistance do come in handy, and also distort resistance and blind death resistance. As you can see, I have others to choose from. Like if I want to have my firearms dip down quite a bit, I can up my skill power so that way my heals are even more significant. But in this case, when I'm running in a group and I have a dedicated healer, I'm more or less going for all-out damage. And in my mod slots, I have 260 firearms and 3224 health with a 6% first aid self-heal. Moving on to the backpack, Lone Star backpack, I had a good firearms roll. I opted for the major attributes for additional health, but you can also substitute that for skill power to increase even more skill power to help out with your heals. But like I said, if you're running with a dedicated healer or an electronics build such as a tactician or reclaimer, then you can spec in to help to make yourself more tanky, or you can even add in that crit hit damage. And in the major attribute slot, the minor, I have burn resistance. And the mod slots, I have 266 firearms with 1% crit hit chance. And then I have another 6% first aid self-heal and another 6% first aid self-heal. I'm stacking first aid self-heal so that way it makes my heals even better when I have such low skill power. But you can opt in on all these other mods and go for skill haste. Either skill haste, especially if you're not running with a healer build or you're running a doubles in the DZ or whatever that may be, you can stack skill haste, and you can have I believe 7% skill haste on your gloves, another 6% on your holster, and then you can stack skill haste on your mods. That will give you at least 25% skill haste to counteract having low skill power. Moving on to my gloves, I wish the base armor roll of these gloves was a little higher since it tops out at 1,001, but this is be sufficient. And as you can see, I have the trifecta at 5.5% crit hit chance, 1,333 shotgun damage, and 16% crit hit damage. And as you can see, I have a low firearms roll, mainly because it had crit hit chance, crit hit damage, and pistol damage, and I prefer the shotgun damage. But hopefully sometime soon I can come across another pair of Lone Star gloves with better base armor and a lot higher firearms roll. If I can get that to 1250, that'll be an additional 100. So my firearms would be 8323, and then I can opt out one of them mods and either go for more toughness, such as a stamina mod, or I can go with an electronics mod, depending on the talents on my gun. But in any situation, what you want on your gun, what you want on your gloves is whatever weapon type you'll be using, crit chance, and crit damage. Moving on to the holster, I have good rolls across the board, 1252 firearms, 1258 in stamina, and 1264 in electronics. And the major attribute spot, I'd rather have either skill haste, and this, or reload speed actually, since I'm utilizing the LMG in a shotgun. The additional 20% reload speed would come in really handy, especially if you're using the Hungry Hog, so that way you can reload very much faster. So that's why I more or less choose to run the Pecan, because it reacts and has a clip such as like a AR and reloads much faster, even though you're doing probably like 1500 to 2000 less in damage, but yet the reload speed comes in handy. So if I had a choice, this major attribute spot would come in at reload speed. And in the mod slot, I have another 5.5% first aid self-heal. So overall, this is a devastating build, especially when using a shotgun. I've been running the DZ with Tim the Toolman Taylor. Also check out his channel on YouTube. He is currently streaming right now. So if you could, go show them some love. And also check out Revolution Gaming. Their description is in the comment section below, in the description below. It's a great and awesome new gaming community that I myself and a few like-minded individuals had started up. It's about being positive, being helpful, and it's not just a division-based community. It's a gaming community. No matter what the game may be, we're all there to help, to carry on great constructive conversations, and just overall share our experiences, our builds, and our theories, whatever the case may be, to make good friends and to have good people that communicate well in matchmaking when going into Last Stand or DZ or running all these incursions or whatever the case may be. So please go check out Revolution Gaming, and you can click on their link in the description below. Also, if you are a fan of Control Freaks, you can use code SHARP for 10% off at checkout. Their link is also in the description below. Control Freaks are, in a sense, joystick extensions, and they help on and save wear and tear on your thumbsticks. So I advise you go pick you a set up, and your controller will last a lot longer. But anyways, this is the build. 3-piece Banshee, 3-piece Lone Star. It's a very great build. It's very destructive, especially when utilized with a shotgun, whichever it may be, the 870, or like I prefer the Sausage because of the rate of fire and the awesome stagger that it gives. And then also, instead of reloading, you can switch out to one of these bad boys, either it be the Hungry Hog or the Pecan, and just completely shred. But this is your boy Relentless. Thank you so much for watching. Please smash that sub and like button if you would. All your support is very much appreciated. I do this for you guys, and I thank you guys so much, and I'm going to send you over to some gameplay, and we'll see you.
I got broads in Atlanta, just to the lean the family. Credit cards in the scammers, hitting the licks in the van.